I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bang a rang on the radio. So turn it up, I'm telling you. I think I'm ready for something new. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.
Hi, I'm Noelle, the new host of Pop Punk and Pizza, and for this episode, I got to talk with Joshua and Jamie of the UK band Big Drink, and I hope you enjoy. So, first off, I want to say congrats on releasing your EP. It was supposed to be easy, supposed to be so easy. I think all the songs are bops. They all have
Thank you.
some of them have some great breakdowns, and it's like kind of pop punk, but it's also got some heavier influences in there too, and I think it's also very cohesive. So, yeah, I really like it.
Thanks.
So yeah, first off, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and what your roles in the band are, like what instruments you play.
Jamie, you can go first, bud.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I play bass and getting away, mostly.
Not true. I'm Josh. I sing in the band, and getting away also pretty much like together. We're the most in the way people.
Yeah.
Everyone else does the legwork. We just turn up and kind of enjoy it. I think really.
Yeah. So tell me about how the band got started. Like, how did you guys meet?
We used to play in different bands, weirdly enough, a long time ago. Like as everyone who's ever been in a band, you always end up in like loads of bands on the local scene playing with each other. And I think my old band and Jamie's old band played like a battle of the bands. How many times have I said band now? Like 50?
Yeah.
Yeah, played a battle of the bands together. And we met from that. And I think when those projects just kind of naturally came to their conclusion, I said to Jamie, probably like while a bit drunk at a show once, "Oh, mate, if you ever start another band, let me know. I want to be in it." And yeah, lo and behold, I got a call out of the blue or like something pinged up on Messenger or something. It's like, "Oh, do you want to make some music?" So yeah, went from there. I think is that right?
Cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just assembled a team from all the failing bands.
Yeah.
Picked and choose the best. Made me own Avengers.
Yeah. Cool. So how would you describe your music? Because I hear some like A Day to Remember influence in there, and I was wondering, like what are some of your other band influences?
Oh, to describe it, we always use the words upbeat down tune because it's obviously happy but heavy. Everyone in the band likes different stuff, like a really different range. Like I think so if we're going from like Charlie XCX to like kind of again like you just
Yeah.
said, A Day to Remember. There's like such a wide swathe of music in there. I think that's probably one of the good things really about it is that everyone's into something a little bit different. Jamie, I mean, I'm not going to speak for your influences. You go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm mostly pop punk guy, which is how we started out. Ben, the guitarist, is more into his metal.
Yeah.
So sort of mashed together, putting the breakdowns in, and yeah, just as we've gone along, Ben's taken over more of the writing, so it's just slowly getting heavier and heavier as we go.
And I love that mix of different sounds. I think it sounds really good together. So you were originally called A New Hope, right? And so what
Yeah.
made you decide to change the name?
We were forced to. There's some great dirt to be dished here.
Okay.
Bigger boys told us.
Yeah, the bigger boys told us so. We got bullied.
Oh
We
no.
we were out on like a pretty decent tour, doing a run, and we we went to trademark our name. And you hope it's just something you do after you've been a band for a period of time. We've been a band for 3 years. We thought, well, we didn't look for merch trademarks or anything, just a standard name trademark, so no one else could steal our name, basically.
Yeah.
And in the process of doing that, you have to submit it to like the trademark authority or whatever they call themselves, and they put it out like for a period of a couple of months where anyone else can contest that and say, "Oh no, that's too close to our name." And this boy band called the New Hope Club basically copyright striked us through their label, and started sending us some very threatening cease and desists from like Virgin EMI, basically.
Oh, okay.
Saying, stop calling yourselves a New Hope. Apparently, a New Hope, they objected to New and Hope being so close to each other because of their New Hope Club. So yeah, we literally were in the middle of a tour, like probably one of the bigger ones we'd done, like getting to play to loads of new people, thinking, oh, excellent, they're going to remember us, and had to change our name as soon as we came back from it. So it was a bit of a
Oh,
bummer. And when we were
yeah.
talking about it at the time, we were like, right, just everyone's a bit kind of down the dumps. You're on the road, you're tired, long days, and it's like, do you know what? Do you want a big drink to cheer you up, Jamie? It's like, yeah, get me a big drink. So the name Big
Drink.
Drink came from that,
Okay.
basically.
That
Stupid as it
makes
is.
sense. Yeah, that's kind of difficult that you had to change the name like so early on, like just when you're like gaining some traction, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of hard, but I do like the new name too. I think
Thank you.
it's uh so you guys are from the UK, so are you planning on playing any shows in the US sometime soon?
We would love to. It's so hard to break to the US scene from over here because finding contacts that will get you into the promoter scene in the US is the harder thing for us, not necessarily the lack of want to do it. We're lucky enough to be going out to Europe to do some shows next year, which would be cool. But I mean, for our kind of music, I think the reception would probably be better in the US. I mean, I don't know. We're so far away from you guys. Like the view that
Yeah.
you have in the UK is getting to go out to the US and tour is like the pinnacle of touring. But people we know from the US are like, no, don't know if you'd like it that much. We're like, what do you mean you wouldn't like it that much? So yeah, we'd love to go and do it. We're in some talks with some people. Obviously we're obviously not allowed to talk about too much at this stage because it's all in its infancy. Don't know if it's going to happen, but hopefully we'll be out there at some point soon. We'd love to, basically.
Yeah. Well, I'd definitely love to see you guys if you ever came here. So, yeah. And you just played Pick It Up Festival, and how was that?
Yeah, it's good fun. Jamie, do you want to jump in?
Well, my bass head broke like instantly in sound check. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, no, it was good fun. Some bands on that lineup.
Yeah, some really good ones.
Some smaller bands that we've played with. It's good to see them again. So
Cool.
Yeah, it's one
cool.
of those festivals like seeing all your mates basically. There's
Yeah.
obviously some great headlining acts too, but loads of bands that are on the local scene you see at the same time, so it's quite a good scene.
Yeah. And what has been your favorite place or venue that you've played so far?
Oh man, um, we played a show in Newcastle at the Student Union, which I think was one of my favorite. That venue there is amazing. The crowd were really good, but I think also the O2 in
What
Oxford
was
was pretty sick.
the Youth Illusion one? The first run of that tour. That was
Manchester,
really good.
Manchester.
Just
Yeah,
loads of randoms showed up in our merch. That was really cool.
Manchester's been good to us. Yeah, like pretty much anywhere up north has been good to us, really. I got to say, like the south, the UK where we're from, it can be a bit cliquey on the south coast. Not too bad, but like yeah, anywhere in Wales, anywhere up north, like so much more receptive, and yeah, you must have like a much bigger party scene there, so it's good.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So we mentioned your EP came out in March of this year. So which song in the EP has been your favorite to play live so far?
Ah, you go first, Jay.
It'll be MO or Swag Bag.
Okay. Those are great ones.
Swag Swag Bag mainly because at the end, me and Brady do a little like crowd invasion and just mosh out for the breakdown
Yeah.
at the end, jump around. So that's pretty fun.
Love that.
I think I don't know. I mean, I think For the Clout's my favorite song off that, just because it's got that kind of big like emo ending, which I really like. But
Yeah.
Emo's really a real pain in the backside to sing live. It's one of those songs that you write and then you're in the studio laying it down, and afterwards you're thinking, I'm not going to be able to do much while I'm singing this live. I'm going to be like rooted to the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think For the Clout, Swag Bag as well. Swag Bag's so much fun to sing and like such great energy in there. Um, I mean, I love them all, really, singing them all. I can't pick one. I shouldn't pick one. I have no
Yeah.
favorites.
Right. Yeah, the whole album is good, or the whole EP is great. So,
Thank you.
yeah. And what was the inspiration behind some of the lyrics on this EP? Like, what made you sit down and to like create it or write it?
I mean, for me, there was some coming out of lockdown in the UK. I don't know what it was like in the US. I can't like kind of see it as a side by side snapshot for it. But certainly in the UK, it was a bit of a hard time. Like I live kind of right next to the some really nice parts of the countryside out here, like some really beautiful walking and like places like that. And kind of to be trapped in your house for the best part of a year, not really
Yeah.
doing anything, kind of takes its toll on you after a little bit. And a lot of that is kind of, I think, based around, I guess, feelings that I was having at the time that, kind of feel when you're trying to write something as well. I had suffered from a bit of writer's block during that, and I just felt that everything I was writing wasn't really good enough, that I wasn't really deserving of kind of making any more music. You kind of go through those self-doubts during those
Yeah.
times, I think. So a lot of it was kind of based around that, and some hardships in my personal life. The classic relationships, you know how it goes. Sometimes things don't work out as you wanted, and there's a bit of it that's about that. And there's a fair bit in there as well, kind of tongue in cheek about, um, I suppose, like being in a band in general, the things that come along with that, with the hardships, like you're talking about the frustration sometimes with lack of progress or everything coming at once or not coming quick enough. You know how it goes. So yeah, it's like a fair mix in there, I think, really,
Yeah.
without going into too much DL, which
Yeah.
I just done. Sorry.
And those are all pretty relatable topics, I think. So, and what is like the main message you're trying to get across with these songs? Like what do you hope people get out of like listening to these songs?
There's two sides for it from me. One, I want it to be um happy, I suppose, for people, and that although there's a lot of it's kind of got a big party-esque vibe to it, I suppose,
Yeah.
and it's fun. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be energetic, but I suppose it's also there's a lot of subtext in the songs, of reassurances, both I suppose at the time of writing it for myself, but also for other people. That I guess life's always not always particularly easy, but there's always something to kind of lift you up, and be that music, be that good times with your friends, be that future prospects, whatever that may be. Those are kind of the key takeaways I want people to take from it.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, first time round, it's just all bops. And then as people listen to it more, they go, oh, this is actually like really sad. Like the lyrics. They don't notice it at first because of all the catchy
Yeah.
riffs.
Right. But that's awesome that it has that, meaningful message behind it and also sounds great. So what first got you into music or playing music?
Jamie?
Alcohol. The first time I got like properly hammered, I went to like my first like proper like local shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there that was just transition, like yeah, it was just awesome. And then from watching all these small bands, wanted to get involved, picked up a guitar, wasn't great at it, picked up a bass, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't know. I'd like my dad was really into music, not playing it. He wasn't a performer in any way, but he listened to a lot of music. And I remember from being really young, listening to stuff like The Police and Fleetwood Mac, and those kind of like acts obviously were from his generation, and loving the harmony and melody in that. And that's kind of my earliest memory of music. But then I think when I hit my teenage years, like I remember coming across Deftones like later on, a little bit later on, and from the kind of like obviously later from their start of their career, but that for me was like wow, like heavy music's got some real legs, and kind of drove me down the path I'm on now from there.
Yeah. Cool. I love Deftones. They're awesome.
So good, so good.
Yeah.
Don't you
So
say you don't? Ugh.
No, I know, I
cool.
never got the appeal. Sorry.
You're a monster.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. We're all different, favorites. So do you have any jobs or hobbies outside of making music? And do those jobs or hobbies kind of inspire your songwriting?
Um.
Uh,
Okay, you go first, Jay. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'm not allowed to write anymore. So, but no, I tattoo, so
Okay.
just sort of always in the alternative vibe anyway. But
Yeah.
in terms of inspiration to anything, yeah, I don't do any of the writing anymore. So just color people in.
Okay.
I mean, we all have jobs outside the band. It's so difficult to finance stuff your music now to kind of cover off all your expenses and stuff. But I have a really boring job. I don't think it's particularly interesting. I work as an engineer, electrical
Oh,
engineer.
cool.
So
My dad's
kind
in
of
it.
did.
That's
Oh,
gonna
there we go. If you say to people most of the time they glaze over and they're like, oh. So I don't really go into details, but I work on like, renewable energy technologies really. So it's interesting for me, but it doesn't influence my creative side like work. In fact, a lot of it kind of I suppose it influences in the way it drives me towards it, and that
Mhm.
working uh, in the field I work in with the people I work in, there's a lot of bureaucracy and red tape and a lot of frustrations you kind of come with dealing with the corporate side of engineering. And yeah, certainly kind of by the time I've done a long week of that, I'm like, get me behind the microphone, get me to a practice room,
Exactly.
let's go and do a show. Anything like that,
You need to
simple
scream out,
drive.
yeah, your frustrations. Yeah. I definitely feel that because, I'm kind of like working in an office job now, and this is kind of like my escape from that, I guess. So yeah, I totally get that. But that's interesting that you guys have some different backgrounds too. So, if you could collaborate with any artist or band, who would you choose?
I've
You
got
go
my
first,
answer.
Josh.
So
You got us. You
yeah,
go.
Jamie's there struggling. Look, he's looking at the thinking, I don't know. I've been asked this before, and it's such a difficult one to answer because there's so many people I want to. But if I was to like say from like past artists of my generation to have collaborated with like Linkin Park around Hybrid Theory era would have been absolutely
Yeah,
sublime. Like not
the
that their later
best.
music isn't good, but like when that came out, like that blew my tiny brain. So that would have been good. Now, um, it'd be so good to do something with someone like State Champs from the pop punk side. That'd be
Yeah,
amazing. Like Dayseeker from kind of the metalcore side. I'd love to do
yeah,
something with Rory. That'd
yeah.
be a
I like
dream
them.
come true. I mean, that's so many.
Yeah,
I think kind of obviously our gateway to the like as a band would be cool to do something with like Chunk No Captain Chunk as well because I absolutely love those guys.
yeah.
So
I
something like
could.
that. What about you?
Yeah, you just stole my answer. I was going to say chunk. If we yeah, if we go back to earlier days, something like Newfound Glory, that'd be
Oh yeah, good
pretty
shout.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, those
Have
are
a
some great
riff
bands.
and sing song with those guys. That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely. So, what are some of the challenges you encountered when working on this EP?
Everything.
This, yeah, this was like everything went wrong on the recording of this EP. We had a real nightmare with it.
Okay.
Hence the title.
It was supposed to be so easy. Yeah, I mean, without going into too much detail and naming and shaming people, which is kind of obviously a bit of a dirty tactic you don't do. We had loads
Yeah.
of issues with um, the studio. We had issues with kind of getting our writing in line, I suppose, at the time. I think both me and Ben were struggling coming out of lockdown, so getting that kind of in place and getting it to a good standard
Yeah.
was there. I mean, I think we all had loads of weird personal stuff going on. It's like one of those times like where everything that could have gone wrong
Yeah.
did, and we still managed to persevere through it. But I think like sometimes hardship breeds a little bit of uh, a bit of creative expression. As horrible as it is at the time to suffer through it, coming out the other end's pretty good. So yeah, I haven't got any regrets going over it. But trying to think, what can we say that went wrong that happened? I got really drunk the day before we were meant to start tracking. Actually, I got a bit too
Yeah.
excited about going to the studio, and then was very ill for the entire next day. Um,
Ben didn't get round to teaching me and Ali the songs, so
yeah, Ben had to track all the parts because he didn't teach Ali and Jamie in the
because
studio. So,
we're frauds on that EP.
um, yeah, loads of stuff really. Didn't
Yeah.
didn't didn't Ben get in trouble for not getting home early enough as well? Something like
Possibly.
that. Yeah,
Let's,
loads of weird stuff happened.
in short, the whole thing wasn't smooth sailing at all.
Yeah.
Next EP is going to be though. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah. So if you could oh, is there any kind of like specific gear or instruments or like pedals that you guys used on this EP that you particularly liked?
Um, we didn't really use anything beyond what we normally do. So we've been trying to get our live sound to sound as close to the EP as we can. So we don't use a lot of obviously all our heads are digital now. A lot of the stuff goes through a chain, which before it kind of goes to the PA. I'm trying to think if we used anything specific. We didn't on this, to be fair. We didn't have any crazy plugins for the VST stuff. We don't know what it was reamped as because the studio won't tell us because they want to keep that their little secret for guitar stuff. So they won't tell us on
Okay.
that. I don't think there
Yeah,
was
just a
anything.
mystery to us as well, I guess. Yeah.
No, it's not. We recorded it. Oh no, you didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were there.
No, I didn't know.
They
I
didn't
was
track it
there
through
though.
anything in particular. I thought was it their outboard wasn't even anything crazy, was it? It was like just a standard like Marshall of some kind of description really for it. I think we ended up just using the clean tone and reamping later. Um, yeah, we didn't have any wild ones with this. We've got loads of ideas for the next one though.
Yeah.
Obviously live that's translated to some stuff because we have to use drop pedals for
Oh,
swag bag and stuff where it's like so. Because what's the tuning for that? Something silly.
It's like drop A,
Drop drop B,
drop
drop A, or
drop
something like that.
drop W.
yeah.
Yeah, it just goes lower and lower.
W. Yeah. Well, cool. So are there any specific record labels you'd like to be signed to in the future?
Oh man. I mean, I've got my little list. Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
like Sharp Tone do so many good bands that we like. That'd be so good. I mean, when I was younger, obviously Victory was such a huge label in the US. Everyone was like keen to work with them. I know obviously they had some of the shine taken off them with the whole Day to Remember scandal, so I won't say too much about it because I
Yeah.
don't know anything more than what they've said. Um, I mean, yeah, Fearless would be really good. They have a really cool artist on it that I know we all like. I mean, could pick so many. Slam Dunk Records in the UK would be good. I mean, they have like a load of really good up and coming artists on them as well. So, I mean, record labels is such like a mystery because you've never been on one. You don't really know much about it, and you kind of
Right.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how the operation works from that side of it really.
Yeah.
Jamie might have a better idea. He's definitely got more connections to this.
Don't even know if they're about anymore, but I always wanted to get involved with drive-through records.
Oh
But
yeah, that'd be sick.
drive-through was where like all my favorite bands were at. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so out of touch with all that. Yeah, I wouldn't even know if they're still alive.
Yeah.
Still alive.
Yeah. Usually you'd go like with your whatever your favorite bands are on, but then you like don't really know what actually being on the label is like. So some
Yeah.
artists might want to stay like independent, but it's always interesting to ask. So since this is Pop Punk and Pizza podcast, I was wondering if you guys have any kind of favorite pizza.
I mean, I'm pretty boring. I love double pepperoni. That's fine for me. Like,
Yeah.
but I have a friend in Finland.
Hmm.
He was telling me about the pizza over there, and they have it with like shrimp and stuff on it, like
Shrimp? Oh, I've never heard
shrimp.
of that.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. He said he was ordering a takeout the other day. I said, well, what were you getting? He said, shrimp and blue cheese was the pizza toppings that he had.
Oh, what?
I was just like,
Ew.
straight away. I was thinking, like,
Such a
who eats
weird
that? Yeah, he was like,
combination.
everyone in Finland eats that. That's the normal. I'm like, what happens to just a
Oh,
margarita? Like, can we just
yeah,
we'll start somewhere basic and build up. Um,
right.
yeah. To be fair, like, I like spicy food. Anything spicy, and if the pizza's got anchovies on it, even better.
Okay. I don't like
Jamie's
anchovies, but
no.
Mm. You ever see the first Deadpool movie where he has the
yeah,
pineapple and olive pizza?
yeah.
I like gave that a go. It's actually really good.
Yeah. Pineapple pizza is like okay to me, but like if I have more than a couple slices, it's just kind of like eh. I don't know.
Then with the olive,
Yeah, maybe
sweet and
that'd be
salty.
better. I don't know. But my favorite is margarita.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. The classics are classics for a reason, right?
Good one. So what bands do you guys like to listen to when you're touring or on the road?
We put pretty
Oh,
much
mishmash.
anything on, don't we? Yeah, it's like it gets pretty wild because someone will suggest a song and then it goes into the playlist, and the playlist ends up growing and growing and growing and growing. And
Yeah,
before you know it, it's like 2 days worth of music in there, and you've barely made your way through it. I think,
yeah.
yeah, Ali and Ben, it'll be like anything heavy as possible, really, for them. So it goes all the way down to the kind of the worst end of metal. That's my opinion, by the way, not theirs, obviously. But like, yeah, me and Jamie are definitely more on the pop punk scale. I guess I'm definitely more on the emo scale. Brady loves kind of like, I mean, he loves kind of the emo pop punk. He also loves a load of like Brit pop and stuff like that as well. And kind of modern kind of electro pop too. What about Jay? What about drumming? What does Jay like?
does Jay like?
We've never let Jay have the orcs, basically.
Oh, wow.
He's just there jamming to
I
whatever.
don't even know what Jay likes. Toy
well,
cars, but that's it.
Yeah.
something to ask.
Yeah, definitely. Next time we'll give him the cable and just scrutinize it. Just get him to put the playlist on. Just sit and watch and wait and see what he selects, judgingly. Yeah, literally anything and everything. I think, especially when you're out on those long journeys on the road, we've done times where we haven't even listened to music. We just started listening to true crime podcasts because like so much music, we're just overloaded with it. We're like, right,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Get case
Like,
files on. Let's hear some horrible things.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if, fans get tired of just like listening to music because it's like their whole life.
We
But
we we spend quite a lot of time talking in the van, actually, weirdly enough, don't we? Thinking
yeah,
about it when we're on the road. I think, to be honest with you, when we're doing longer runs, we end up listening to a lot more music because the van's chill time, so you're chilling and kind of music's quite a nice way to distance yourself, I suppose, in your head. So we listen to it then. But yeah, if we're kind of just doing like a one-off show, because everything's so close in the UK, you can do one-off shows. If we
yeah,
like to go there and come back in the day. Yeah, we'll do a lot of chatting, just a lot of asinine rubbish that we make up in our heads and laugh about it for hours. I think it's really funny when it's not. So that's about it.
that's all good. So I was wondering, um, how you kind of do your screaming vocals. Like, do you have any specific techniques you use? Because I know some artists do it, some don't. They just like go for it and they like ruin their voice. But
I don't actually do the screams on the record. Our guitarist Ali does all the screaming for us. I used to
okay.
do screaming when I was younger, and my technique was poor. And I really didn't look into um, I suppose there's a way to do it, and there's a very like careful way you can do it where you can scream really, really well. And there's loads of artists who do it like really well now, and you can find tutorials online. But when you're like 14 and you're trying to do it, you don't really care, so you just blow your voice
Yeah,
out over and over and over again. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't really have a good scream anymore, so I don't do it. Ali does follow some techniques. Um, I know he's watched some videos from various people. I'm pretty sure we were watching one. Oh man, I've forgotten her surname now. Lauren. She sung in Jared Alonge's band. She does loads of covers as well. It's Lauren Brabick, I think. She's got like a YouTube series on kind of how to scream and how to use your vocal cords effectively and stuff like that. She's amazing. Like she's
Okay.
astounding. I think Ali spent a bit of time watching her, and along with some other artists that have done it. This YouTube's amazing. What do people do before YouTube? How did you find
Yeah.
this stuff out?
I don't know. Yeah. Like I've watched tutorials like that before for like screaming and I don't know if I'm like doing it right still, but it's fun to try.
Exactly. Well, as long as it's not hurt, I think that's the key thing they say. Is like if you come away from it and it hurts, then you've done it wrong. But
Yeah.
if it's not hurting, it's fine. So just go with it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the method that Ali uses anyway. I think.
Right. Well,
I
cool.
just thought he was just went for it. I didn't realise he had any skills.
Yeah.
I just thought he just barked aggressively at the mic and
I think he's done a bit of research, so he doesn't blow his voice out for doing back to backs. So
doing homework.
done his homework.
So, which venue are you most looking forward to playing on this tour?
Well, our next run of shows is in the new year, but I mean, the next thing I like doing most of the shows. To be fair, it's rare that we get a show that I'm not that hyped about. It does happen
Yeah.
occasionally. Like everyone has bad weeks, and some weeks I'm just like, no, I just want to sleep. But I think the big one for me next is Europe. I'm really excited to get there and see what it's like because that's kind of a milestone for us. In the UK, I mean, there's so many good venues over here.
Mhm.
There's actually probably more good venues than bad ones now, really, that we're coming across. So I'm happy with anyone. If there is like a decent PA and a decent sound guy, that's me happy. I don't need anything else other than that.
Yeah.
So
All you
anywhere
need.
that the doors are open and let us in, yeah.
Yeah.
We bought a huge banner accidentally the other week, and then lost it straight away. So hopefully anywhere that we can put a
Oh
giant
no.
banner, fine.
Oh no,
Fred
that's
Shed's watching. Can we have it back, please?
Yeah, if anyone's got our giant banner, a massive Patreon banner, can we have it back, please?
yeah, please. Uh, but
We're playing the Hobbit soon.
Oh, the Hobbit in
December?
Southampton. Yeah, that's a
Hobbit's
venue
really
I've
good.
wanted to play for years, so that'd be cool.
That's a good
Okay.
venue.
cool. So do you plan on releasing a full-length album anytime soon?
We talked about it, and we've spoken to loads of people. Um, and most people who are in the industry that we've spoken to have been like, don't release an album. And the advice we were given was generally, unless someone else is paying for you to release an album, don't release an album. Keep doing EPs because the cost that's involved in it, like I guess people's attention span with modern music is a lot less nowadays. You're constantly getting
Yeah.
fed new stuff through social media all the time. So if you're doing an album, you need to have enough backing behind it to make the songs worthwhile. And sometimes that's like a bigger advertising budget than guys who are doing it themselves like us can afford. So we are planning another EP, which we're already demoing. So we're kind of through the basic writing principle part of it and into the demos, and then we'll be in the studio in the new year, hopefully in January or February. So it's progressing quite fast for us, which is unusual because our writing process is normally kind of slow and strung out. But this is going quite fast. So yeah, we're hoping to have a new EP out by touch wood, April, May next year. That'll
Cool.
be EP3 for us. Another 6 or 7 tracks, so like nearly an album, but not enough to kind of push us over the threshold.
Yeah. Well, nice. I'm excited to hear it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I still like full-length albums, and listening to those like all the way through. I think
I
it's
love
like,
it as well.
an experience to like sit down and listen to that. But yeah, I understand like some people don't have that long of attention spans, but yeah.
I mean,
So that,
I
that
I
makes
feel
sense.
the same
But
way as you. It's like a full lengths are a journey, and I know internally as a band we'd love to do a full length. Everyone's like,
yeah,
that's something that we've all wanted to do since we were teenagers. So it's like
yeah, that's
a
like the dream.
milestone. Yeah, exactly. So if anyone's listening that wants to pay us to do a full length, then thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So before we go, is there anything else you'd like to plug or mention, like social media or anything like
Yeah, come check us over on Instagram, at Big Drink UK. We do lots of weird stuff there.
hmm
Like some of it's music content, some of it's just weird stuff. But it's all good. Uh, Spotify, if you've not heard us and you're listening to this, then please go and check us out on there. Obviously, people make streams out to be like a massive deal. It's more a case of we'd love you to hear our music than us
Yeah.
kind of begging for place. I mean, you can check us out all our personal pages for kind of our own endeavors. A lot of them will feature stuff about music plus the other weird things we do with our lives.
Yeah.
And yeah, any of the above, any of that would be great. But
Buy
you
our
can find all of
merch.
it. Oh yeah, buy our merch. Don't say that, Jimmy. You can't plug them out.
Buy our merch. It's taking up too much room in my flat. It needs to be gone.
There you go.
Drop some new long sleeves.
Yeah.
Should have plugged
Cold
the merch.
months.
Yeah, it's coming to winter in the UK. So if you want a long sleeve, we
Yeah.
run discounts on our merch pretty regularly, so you can pick them up for a steal. If you
Cool.
And you get Digimon cards with them when you buy it.
Awesome. Also, by the way, I love your backdrop with all the Marvel comics.
Oh, thanks.
Just
I'm
wanted to
I'm
mention that.
actually I'm actually dog sitting for a friend at the moment, and this is his spare
Okay.
room background.
Cool. All right. Well, it was so nice talking to you guys. I had a
Well,
lot
thank
of
you very
fun.
much. No,
Yeah.
pleasure. Thank you for having us on. We appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the
Yeah,
time to
thank
do
you
this
very much.
interview.
Anytime.
right.
Anytime.
Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.